Therapy Thursday is on. This is where we talk it out and we work it out. If you got a question, we got an answer. We can give you a 60-second session from Meredith MD, from Dr. Davi, from Orlando BGYN, and sometimes from the people. Text us or call. It is 888-429-0941 if you want to check in. Any of the questions, feel free. Range of topics. If we don't know, we fake it. All right? Let's see what we got. Who guys want?
I have one. I have been married for over 30 years, and I have 7 children.
Okay, first of all, congratulations on that. That don't happen.
On the 30 or the 7?
I was talking about the 30.
Oh.
Them 7.
You take it back?
Yeah, it's a lot of them 7s out there.
All right. I found out many years ago that my husband is gay.
Wow.
He has never acted on these feelings, but as a result, we have a platonic relationship. I suppose we stay together because it's the easiest thing to do. And now that my children are adults, we sleep in separate rooms. Keeping his secret has made me anxious and feeling depressed. The facade was fine for a little while, but now we are definitely not seeing eye to eye on a lot of things, especially when it comes to our marriage. As we enter a longer relationship, I sometimes think he should be honest with himself and his feelings and maybe move on to somebody that could actually make him happy because we are in a loveless marriage. I need some help on this, please.
Who is
That's a no specific person.
Ain't nobody want to jump up and get that one. Everybody left that one. It was deathly quiet.
Well, you want that person to be happy at the end of the day, but if you can't make somebody force themselves to come out of the closet, you have to make sure that they feel comfortable with that and make sure that they feel supported at the same time. But you also want to be happy too.
I mean, honestly, listen, y'all are in a relationship. That's a full and blown thing. It's 30 after 30 years. Mm-hmm. Y'all are partners. Y'all, for whatever it is. I mean, you probably what you calling loveless is probably synonymous with a lot of people out there who have made it to that upper room. Because you got 20, 25, you get married, you about 55 now. Y'all done spent 30 years together. Ooh. That's a partnership. Y'all are in it to win it. Stay there.
And a lot of kids.
Why leave now? Do you let this man be with you for 30 years? You call it a facade or whatever. Why go now?
And maybe that's a part of his life that he wanted to keep in the past or forever. That's how things worked out. And maybe it's something that he's not that interested in exploring. Because after 30 years and 7 kids, maybe the drive isn't there anymore.
Yeah, he don't want to go out and, do the party scene or go out on the singles thing. He just, it's just what he was into. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I don't want to say he has to live a quiet life, but I'm saying whatever he's doing now, why rock the boat? You have a partner and a 30-year partner, and I know you're looking for love, but don't get caught up in the grass is greener thing. Let me try and chase whatever. You have a real full-blown 30-year commitment, and that deserves to be respected, I would think. Mm-hmm. And if you put up with it this long, It
just sounds like she feels a little empty on the inside,
Yeah. Trust me, everybody feel empty sometimes.
That's very true.
I just honestly, I would not strike out and just leave it because you've stayed with it this long. That's just my thing.
I got one for Davi. It just came in.
Dímelo.
Good morning, Freak Show. This question is for Davi. How do you get out of your head when it's time to perform in the bedroom? I can't seem to get out of my head, and it's affecting my game.
That ain't ask me. Let something say.
One of the toughest things these days, not just in love or in just any aspect of life, I think, is being fully present. Mm-hmm. We have so many different distractions and things pulling our attention one way or another. When it's time for you and your partner to spend some quality time together and you guys are getting down in the bedroom, you have to fully focus on being 100% there. You have to be attentive, everything that they're saying, everything that their body might be saying without necessarily words to communicate. You just have to be fully engaged and make it a priority. You have to kind of try to train your mind to fully focus on this. Everything else, you just got to kind of block it out and put it in the back burner for now and just be attentive. And it's
Is
something
this like thinking of baseball, like when you're trying not to?
Distraction.
Well, no. This is kind of the opposite, because I think what he's doing now is he's thinking, or she's thinking of a million other things and isn't present. This was actually kind of the opposite. Here, you have to focus on your partner and just be that person and let them have your undivided attention. And it's easier said than done in a lot of cases. It's something you have to kind of train yourself to do.
My answer wasn't as good. I was just going to say turn the lights out, make it real dark. Make it real dark, and then you ain't got to like worry about you out of your head because you don't see nothing.
Well, sometimes when you lay in the dark, that's all you can think about is everything else. Like
not when you
bills
hunching.
and
When you hunching, turn the
kids.
lights out because all that extra stuff is just the jiggles.
Okay.
It makes your focus go away. All right, let's see here. This doesn't have a name on it. It says, "Dear Freak Show, I'm trying. I'm trying to teach my kids about finances, and I want to prepare them to be fiscally responsible. Any advice that you could share would be valuable. By the way, they're 12 and 15.
Okay. First of all, I would definitely take them into a bank. Just so that they can actually be inside of a bank and see that it is a professional place, and see if they can sign you up, or the kids, for their first debit card. That's what I would do.
Can you get a debit card that young is the question.
I got one when I think I was 12 years old. Yes. And my mom took my butt into the bank because she wanted to see, this is where they hold like all the money in town. This is where you cash a check. And although things are different nowadays, and of course you use apps
you
and
ain't gonna
stuff
see
like
no
that.
tellers or nothing in there now.
Right.
It's
but I
pretty
feel like
depressing.
maybe it is important to actually take them in a facility and actually see and be in there. You know, like when you touch something and you're surrounded by it, it's a little bit different than, it's just another app.
What I was taught is and this is only if you have good credit. So a lot of y'all turn this off. but if you have good credit, you can get your kid as a signee on your credit card. And as long as you pay those bills on time, you can start building their credit score from this age of 12 and 15. So let's say, Mom, you pay all of your credit cards on time. You put them on your card, and now they get your credit. If your credit is good, by the time they get to 18 or 21, they now got 800 score credit because they have inherited yours by association. Now, if you mess up your credit, you now drag them down. And so you don't want to tie your kids to somebody that's a little schmarmy.
That could be a slippery slope.
Yeah, don't do it.
I would say in teaching them fiscal responsibility, the first and one of the most important things to do is actually teach them the value of money. And by that, I mean, like, okay, if you have chores that you're going to do, and let's say you have 2 hours worth of chores, let's pretend that you're making $20 an hour. You just spent 2 hours. You made $40. Now let's go purchase something that cost $40 so you can directly equate your 2 hours of labor to this product, good, or service that you just bought, and just to kind of help you make that correlation of time equals money. And now you have a different appreciation for it when you're asking Mom, hey, can I get a new pair of shoes or a dress or whatever it may be?
You know the sweat equity that got to go into it.
100%.
Yeah, that's a good look right
That's
there.
how I started saving up for my first car, by the way. I went to go get a debit card. She was like, if you want to get a car, you're going to have to start working and take your bank account, that piggy bank that you have in your room, and move all that money into the bank.
You broke over the piggy bank for that thing.
I did.
Go ahead, Mary.
Yeah.
There's a few people who are talking about the credit thing. Out of the 941 says, my fiance's dad did this for him. Fortunately, it worked out well for him, but a lot of parents can screw their kids by tying them to their credit.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
This also says, Orlando, I tied my goddaughter, then 18, to my mortgage. First, in case I pass, she gets the house, no argument. But second, because I always pay early, she now has an 802 beacon score, and she's 22.
Oh, that's amazing. That's fantastic.
That's so sexy.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's great.
That's a good look right there. That's how we trying to do.
Yeah, that gives the person who's the authorized signer, now their credit history is tied to your credit history, because as a lot of you guys know, no credit is just as bad, if not worse, as bad credit.
Yeah, that's them.
No history. But we have one out to 813 for you, Orlando.
Okay.
It says, my husband and I have been married for 5 years. We've been together for 8, and we have 2 kids. We recently opened a business, and we still work our full-time jobs. How do we make more time for each other? We go 3 weeks sometimes without sex, and it's awful. We start to fight more, and we get easily irritated with one another, but sometimes it feels like there just aren't enough hours in the day.
I mean, and they work together, too.
They open a business together,
open a
but they
business.
still have their full-time jobs.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's
All right.
a lot to deal with.
What I would say is there are people who I know who have businesses that they do, and the ones that have a great relationship have really good scheduling ability. And they don't schedule and make it sound like it's a course, kind of like it's a chore or a job, but they keep it scheduled so they can make sure they respect their time. Respecting your time of your partner, but also keeping the game solid so you can make sure this business is thriving, so you can make sure your job is thriving. And if you have kids and everything else, you got to start to schedule. I know 2 executives that both work for record company type of deals, and they schedule everything.
Yeah.
Like they're like, hey, look at your book. Here's my book. Okay, we got Saturday afternoon available. Let's do something that day. Like, because they both travel, they both have artists, they both have touring, they both have things that are going on. So they identify parts in the week that are theirs as a couple, not as business owners, not as business people, but as a couple to make sure that their relationship thrives. So I think you shouldn't be afraid of those kind of less sexy scheduling type of like more rote things, because in essence, it's because you respect the love between y'all as much. So I would say put the same work into your relationship that you put into work, and don't be afraid of it making it sound like work, because that's a big kind of detraction for people.
Well, you got to make time for one another.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's what's really important at the end of the day.
But force yourself to make that time, because if you don't force it, it's going to go away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see. We got somebody on the line here on line 1. It is Tay. Tay has a question. Hey, how you doing this morning?
Hey, I'm doing good.
What's your question?
Hey, turn your radio down, Tay.
Okay, my bad.
You good?
All good. What's up?
Me and my baby mama are planning on moving to New York. We stay in Florida. The reason we're moving is because we're in a situation where it's kind of difficult, being that we're new parents, and her dad's willing to help us out. Everyone, well, not everyone down here, just really her mom, they're kind of against us going way up to New York because they want to be around the baby. But financially, it's better for us, and we think it'll do better for us as a couple.
Uh-huh.
What would you recommend us taking such a big trip with a baby? She's not even a year old.
Mm.
And you're driving or flying?
We're driving.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, road trip, I mean, you're there. The best care of the baby is the parents.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a road trip where you got the baby seat and everything else, I don't see it as an issue. I mean, long as she close to that boob, that's good eating. So, and as far as moving up there, if you move it up there for the financial look, if dad is going to be able to help and be able to give you some sort of like foundation, go for it. I mean,
make sure you look at taxes.
The people who want you here are the people who want access to the baby, and of course, they can have that with vacations and stuff like that. But you're talking about a day-to-day, type of help, so to speak, from the pops. So I would say that's an important.
Don't forget that the cost of living in New York
expensive.
is a lot more than the cost of living here. So all that means is you have to make more money to live in the same manner as you do here. It's just more expensive. There's more taxes. There's a lot of underlying things that you definitely have to budget for and make like a real solid plan with employment, with housing. Sometimes the housing you have to pay hundreds of dollars a month just to park your car. If there's 2 cars, it's all just a bunch of things that you have to factor in.
Yeah, we were looking into that, and the area we're moving into is kind of cheap. We're not moving into New York. It's kind of like a little country part.
Yeah,
but it's somewhat cheaper. It's not it's not as bad as Florida.
And I'm sure you're getting that advice from her pops too, because he's up there, so he's giving you a little bit more. Because you're gonna be on his dime, so he's gonna make sure he puts you in a better space. So.
That and I like to prepare before I move places. I like to look it up myself.
Yeah, you got a family now. You got to do that with everything you do.
Can you check it out by yourself first? That might be a good idea.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. We were looking at places. I mean, for a 3-bed where he is, with a 3-bedroom, 2 baths, it's an apartment. It's $800. I didn't believe it, but it's $800.
Well, that's because so many people are also moving out of New York, so you
Yeah.
got to keep that in mind.
Yeah, I mean, definitely look into it. There's always hidden, expenses when you have state tax and stuff like that.
A
so,
lot.
so be aware of it. But yeah, definitely move. Don't let people who just want to be around the baby. They could be around the baby easy. This is your foundation. If you got a better opportunity to set a foundation for your family up there, then go for it, because that is now your responsibility and really your main. All right.
All right, thank you.
No problem, bro.
That's a big decision.
It is. But you know what? It's a big thing to have a family. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, you got to make those moves. You got to do what's right for your family. All right, we are a wrap if we can squeeze one more, and if y'all got one, but other than that, we got
I have one if we have time.
go for it.
Okay, help. Me and my girl split up back in January, and we got back together 2 months later. We had been together for 6 years, and we just needed time apart due to differences. But we decided to get back together to make it work. I bought her an engagement ring this past weekend to propose, and I just found out, here it is, a chick that I slept with during our time apart, and it was a one-night stand,
Is pregnant.
Is pregnant.
No!
There we go.
She says I'm the father.
Oh, God.
How do I tell my girl?
You the father.
Oh, my
How do I tell
God.
my girl?
You have to tell her, and do not propose first. It's going to ruin the proposal.
Wait, but
and everything.
I'd already planned to propose.
Oh, keep the ring. I don't.
Wait,
I want to know
first,
beforehand.
First
What?
of all,
You got to tell her.
First of all, you got to make sure it's yours.
Paternity
Because
test.
she was a one-night stand.
Right.
Who's to say that you were her only one-night stand? First and foremost, before you ruin your engagement, your 6 years together,
Yeah.
make sure it's your baby.
Yeah, it's got to be your baby.
Then,
Yeah.
Meredith,
I
you can
would
take
still
it.
want to know if I was with somebody and he potentially got somebody knocked
Yeah,
up.
no.
I would not keep that a secret.
Nah, but listen, this is where we're going to have to do a doc vote.
Oh my God.
Because I don't think you tell unless that's yours.
So we're in a committed relationship.
We
and
were
when
on a break.
No, that's fine. But we're together now. So
Right.
if this potentially life-changing thing is happening,
Potentially.
It's not life changing. You keep
Potentially.
saying potentially.
But this is something that we should know.
Potentially, this is something you don't need to know.
oh my
Right.
God.
Yeah,
now you're
it's true.
keeping secrets and he wants to be engaged and he's going to keep the secret
That's
for the
why,
rest
that's
of
why
their
we
marriage.
said don't get engaged.
Right,
Oh
that's why
my
I said don't
God.
get engaged.
You
yeah.
guys are the worst.
No, we're not, Meredith. We keeping it real.
Yeah.
And that's how you keep it real. Okay, you tell if you got a baby.
Mhm.
Right.
You don't tell
Right.
if you don't have a baby.
I get that. I understand.
Why bring drama into this house? We're not trying to mess up a happy house.
I
We
get
happy.
it.
We happy.
We
We
happy.
got a ring.
We got a ring. We
Yeah.
got a life,
Yeah.
and we don't have a baby life.
Right.
Yeah, there
But
we go.
maybe you do.
No,
Nah.
there ain't no maybe.
We can cross
'Cause
that
gon-
bridge
gon'
when we
fi-
get there.
We're going to figure that out before we do all this, Meredith. You got to follow the rules,
Oh
all
my
right? Then
gosh.
it's a wrap. Therapy Thursday is done.